Hello and welcome to Rawkode Live on the Rawkode Academy. Today is Klustered. We have a couple of clustered and a couple of broken clusters and a couple of great guests joining us today as we do some live debugging to get these clusters back online and working. We have a clustered application written in Rust which has a small database that we'll do our best to fix. Now, a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share the videos as well. This helps other people find them. It keeps the YouTube algorithms happy and just means that more people get to enjoy and learn together. We also have some membership packages available on the Academy that allow you to support the channel. So please feel free to check them out. And if you have any questions, then you can jump into the Discord and ask them. I'm more than happy to tell you what we are doing. The Discord is available at rawkode.chat. There's nearly 600 of us in there now talking all things cloud native, Kubernetes, eBPF, and everything in between. So come and say hello, and I look forward to meeting you. All right, last thing, our sponsor. Teleport have been sponsoring us now for the last 2 months, and I got to thank them a whole lot. It's the easiest decision I ever made when it came to Klustered because we use Teleport every single week. We've been using Teleport since the first episode. It allows us to secure access to the clusters as well as share and pair in a same session, which you're going to see us doing a whole lot today. It also allows you to expose those applications securely through the proxy, which you'll also see in action. So if you want to support Klustered and Rawkode Live, check out rawkode.live/teleport. It's a UTM link, but I would really appreciate it. And of course, go install Teleport on all your clusters. You'll thank me. All right, let's jump over and say hello to today's guests. I'm joined by Borko and Matt. Hey guys, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Suitably nervous yet? No, of course not. These are pros. These are pros. All right.
Nervous on both sides, I think.
All right, could you both do us a favor and introduce yourselves? We'll start with Borko there and then move over to Matt.
Hi, my name is Borko. I'm a big fan of the Klustered series here. I think it's a great resource for people learning Kubernetes or preparing for CKA. So I'm really humbled to participate. I know I've learned a lot through the series. I hope others find value here as well.
Thank you very much. Matt?
Yeah, hey, I'm Matt Turner. Similar kind of thing. Done a fair amount of Kubernetes, I guess. I got my CKA, which was quite a stressful thing. I think this is going to be worse. I haven't watched any of these because I didn't want to cheat. I mean, I didn't want to end up copying somebody else's. It's a difficult time zone for me. I didn't want to end up just copying anybody else's breakages by accident. It's hard to get them out of your head. So yeah, I'm completely new to this, but we'll see.
All right, don't worry about it. It's all in good fun. So I see Russell has a beer. Enjoy, mate. And Pop has joined us. Borko, he's putting a lot on your shoulders. He wants you to make me cry.
He promised some Tim Hortons coffee, so I'm gonna try not to disappoint.
All right, perfect. Well, I have Matt's cluster in front of me, so we are going to jump over to our screen share. I am going to open a session onto the control plane node. And Borko, I'm going to ask you to join and give us an echo hello to let us know that you're here. We're in the same terminal, and then we will do our best to get this application running as quickly as possible. Let me start our timer. Feel free to set up the kubeconfig. And we will check if we have a control plane, which is usually a pretty good first step.
So I don't know how much I should troll you, whether I should just shut up. My worry here, to be honest, I haven't broken it hard enough for two pros like you. I wasn't sure how close you would go. This might be very quick, but then we get to move on to Barco's super hard, super broken cluster, and it's all good.
The quicker it is, the sooner I get my dinner. Usually I'm eating dinner at 8 p.m. on a Thursday, so if I can get it better there, I'm not going to complain. All right.
I've got a list of, I'll go through it at the end, of like 4 or 5 ways I tried to break it that didn't work. Because I sort of, came up with them from first principles, but Kubernetes is too resilient these days, and they actually didn't have the effect I expected. So that was quite interesting.
All right. Well, it looks like we do not have a control plane.
That's the correct IP, I guess.
It definitely looks correct. I mean, I can't say for sure, but I would argue that yes, that is probably the correct IP.
import seems okay.
Would you like me to confirm somehow?
Okay, well, we don't have a server running.
Yeah.
Or okay, so well, I
We have a
just
nice reminder in the chat from Kevin that there are only 3 rules. Don't break teleport, don't play with etcd, and no eBPF. Well, the latter 2 are unofficial.
I was going to say.
Through rage induced by me on previous episodes.
okay, so I guess Cube controller seems to have been played around with, but
So we have no API server running, and you've jumped straight into the static manifest, right?
yeah, I'm just going to see if anything seems off here. Does anything jump at you here?
No, that looks like a perfectly normal static manifest for the API server. I'm pretty happy with that.
Okay. I guess we can check systemd.
Yeah, let's confirm if we have a kubelet. Russell's also saying there's a
Oh,
no
yeah.
UTF-8 rule. Yeah, that is a real rule. We have not invited Guy back after episode 2. Nor will he come back. I see an API server there.
Kubelet and API. Huh.
Maybe it's just flapping.
Yeah. Okay, that's...
Might want to check out the logs, perhaps.
Interesting. Okay, so it seems to be restarting. Okay. Pods.
Having known Matt for a wee while now, I would not be surprised if there's just a cron doing a kill -9 every 3 seconds.
Yeah, well, no UTF-8, non-printed camera, no corrupt etcd, and I mean, the heavy metal approach is just
Varlog containers would be your best bet. I know you.
Let's move down here.
Simple but effective, right?
We don't have Varlog. Varlog single.
I'm just typing it wrong. Okay.
etcd.
Okay.
There's always a panic when I don't see etcd running.
Yeah. It definitely shouldn't have lost its data. Like, I haven't done anything like that to you. You should, when you get it back, you should be able to upgrade in place.
Yeah. I'm going to have to find a way to disable that, but there's always the remembered Vim cursor every time we open a file and it starts halfway down.
I killed my bash history, but I forgot about that. Damn.
Every week we see it. You're like, oh.
Hacks. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I'm not a hacker, am I? I cleaned up my bash history.
Oh, good. What do we have?
I mean, this doesn't look right.
Yeah, that 1M is etcd is never going to be able to start with that. That's for sure. I can see a smirk on your face, Matt.
It wasn't actually crashing when I left it. I wanted to just squeeze it. I should have squeezed it to just the point where it was timing out.
I mean, I would just remove the limits, to be honest, and we don't need them. We never follow that advice in production if you're watching, but you know, for the sake of clustered, I am happy for us to delete the limits. All right.
Okay.
We might just want to give it 30 seconds, make sure etcd is still running, make sure API servers up. It's always fun to see which flags people use with PS. Everybody's got their own little unique take into it. Oh, come on, Russell. 6 minutes, 30 seconds in, and there's already a Rawkode smash of just deleting stuff from manifest. Yeah. I do like to delete stuff. So SCD dropped again, right?
Well, API server is not starting up, but that's did you?
Is SCD still running?
Well, I assumed it was, but
Oh, it is. Okay.
Seems to be running. Okay, so let's check the logs again. Yeah?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's see. There's multiple ones.
That's from 5 minutes ago. But I think that's the other log.
Okay. I mean, kubelet's running. etcd is running. Oh, there we go.
Server. There we go.
That was there we go. Okay. So we have one worker that's now working. That's good. But we have control plane that seems to be working and one worker that is. Okay, let's check a few things.
Already checking for malicious policies.
Yeah.
I would maybe start with a get pods. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe it's running. Okay. Maybe Matt forgot to break it.
I guess I'm just
You're just assuming the worst, right?
Yeah. We'll check the slides next.
It's kind of difficult to know what to do because I could have just RN this RF the disk, right? But it doesn't seem to be in the spirit of the rules. So
it's against the rules.
What's against the rules? Sorry.
Deleting the disk because that would kill teleport.
Oh yeah.
Very true. But, I could have done something fairly dramatic, I guess.
Man, I'm not doing very well here.
He's trying to delete all the pods. I don't need to sabotage.
I know, that was just a complete mistake. I'm like thinking, I'm thinking I have to smash everything. Okay, so
we can ignore Ambassador mostly.
Okay.
We can see that our clustered pod has completed, which is not a good sign, and our Postgres is stuck in container creating. we got some Cilium flaps too.
So
Oh, there's our controller managers aren't running either.
okay. Okay, let's controller manager.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the controller manager is quite important. We need that running for everything else to reconcile.
You spotted it. I'd hope you'd get to the point of running the update, changing the deployment, and then being like, "Where are my pods? Where are my pods?"
Yes,
Oh, come
that
on,
was.
Matt. I'm 54 clusters in at this point. You think I'm going to miss that?
No, I'm sure I'm not the most creative person.
So that looks okay. And when we ran the get pods, it was actually in a status of pending. And pending really only means one thing, especially for a static pod, which doesn't have access to a lot of the Kubernetes primitives. Did we have a scheduler running? We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might want to describe that controller manager then and see. Oh wait, it's running now.
What's
11 seconds. That wasn't me. What
I
are
mean,
you
it
doing?
seems like a lot of things are restarting. So I wonder if there is something that's causing them all to restart. Let's just
Yeah, the old forgotten limit range. Only known by OpenShift operators.
Yes.
um,
Can you run get pods all again? I'm just curious if we have more things restarting. Okay, that controller manager does appear to be all right.
was it just maybe at CD? Like, I don't know. The fact that it was down.
So yeah, it could be LCD related. So let's assume it's okay just now, which means we probably want to focus on our clustered and Postgres applications. So, I mean, our clustered and
What
is
is this
completed and we have
web?
one pending.
What's this web 6x?
I think that's a decoy.
Okay. What do you mean by decoy? Like,
I think Matt has just deployed them to confuse us. Russell asks, how can the clustered pod be complete? So it generally means that the process exited 0. So it's either not our image, it's been swapped out. Yeah. Hard to tell right now. Was that the web one you described there?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's just an Nginx pod, I think. I would suggest just doing the big delete button on it. Nothing good ever came from random workloads in my cluster.
I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna delete it, but I'm wondering what spawned it.
Well, the pod name was interesting, right? It wasn't a pod tuple. It's more of a daemon set tuple. I think he's just deployed a daemon set called web. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, let's delete that. Yeah. Okay.
Matt, you look sad about that.
That was my Tumblr.
Okay, I mean, we don't see any more restarts, I don't think, so
No, I
that's
think, yeah, you're right.
encouraging. So let's look at let's
Yeah,
look at
Kevin's on
our
there with maybe the image has been changed. Yeah, I think we're thinking that too.
okay, so I guess edit sts. What was it? Okay.
Borko's flying through this. I could just go have my dinner and come back and you'll have it fixed.
I don't know. I'm scared of that SSH comment before.
All right, well, we're just about halfway through our allotted time, so you've got just over 20 minutes.
You're doing well. You're doing very well.
So I don't. Am I missing something? I'm not seeing here requests or limits. Did I just pass through them?
You are correct. There's nothing in that manifest that's setting the limits. So what else could be modifying them?
Another common thing, some sort of admission webhooks or something.
Yeah, check the mutating webhook configuration.
Me?
They're a breaker favorite on Clustered.
I bet they are.
Yeah, you forgot the verb.
Oh, yeah.
eBPF for the control plane, right?
We've had one eBPF break
here.
so far, and it was brutal, absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
By Noel. Okay, so it's not a mutating webhook. So
I'm not a terrible person.
So what are you looking for now, Borko?
Can't you specify static webhooks like here?
Oh yes, you can. So, but there's only the enable admission plugins, so it's only node restriction, which is okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything, so I'm just thinking now. Let's take a look at that error again. What was the error?
And you checked for quotas and limit ranges, didn't you? And there was none.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
can we see the requests? And let me scroll up. The node was low on resource ephemeral storage.
um,
So this may be something on one of the worker nodes instead.
yeah. Okay. So let's see something.
Do you want me to open a new session, or do you think you can do it from the control plane?
One sec. So okay, so it's scheduled on worker one. Worker one is ready. What if we just like delete it and see if it gets rescheduled to worker two? If it's gonna work.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, you could always edit. Oh, well, we can come to that later if we need to. Let's do it this way first.
Yeah.
Kevin says one of the workers was not ready. Maybe it got scheduled there. It appears Matt's worker has fixed itself. I'm not sure how.
No, I'm not sure how. They're surprisingly resilient things.
Oh, is it gonna? What state was it in? Oh, okay, deleted. Okay.
Naveen's pointed out the error on a resource issue, which we're looking into now.
I was really tempted to break.
Still on worker one.
I was really tempted to break the finalizers just to really annoy you when you're trying to delete things, but I didn't get around to it.
Sorry, I've got a nice alias for that now called Nuke from Orbit. So it patches out all the finalizers. Let's edit the deployment, Borko, and just add node name to the spec. And
well, it's running now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm not sure why, but it seems to be okay. So,
all right, let's describe our
delete
cluster.
the other ones and see what happens.
Yeah, go for it. Why not? See, deleting fixes everything. I know my chat are laughing at us, but it does work.
I mean, we're gonna have to find out what the breaks were, because I feel like we're not really fixing some of these issues. Like, I don't understand what fixed the...
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Running.
Okay. Right, so when I upgrade it to version 2.
Yep.
Okay.
I think you're going to have to describe that.
Well, what just... I'm guessing the one that's running is the old one.
Huh. Unscheduled with no events.
I'm a little confused.
As am I.
I'm trying to understand what's happening here. Okay, so we have one running.
Is our scheduler flapping again?
Yeah, we'll take a look. So this is version 1.
No, we do have a scheduler.
Something's happening with the resources, I think, and they're... I wonder if I just do this.
Deleting the only one that works. That's brave.
It came back as well.
It did.
So I assume this should be V2, I hope. Oh no.
No, because it's the replica set for the old one is still active. So we have an unhealthy new replica set with v2, which can't be scheduled. So the old replica set is continuing to schedule pods. Now, our new replica set and the pods created from it is currently pending. Now, that usually means that the scheduler hasn't assigned a node, or a volume can't be mounted, or there are resource constraints. Normally, we would see something in the events for that, and we're not. My intuition is telling me, interesting. Let's maybe look at the scheduler manifest. I don't know if we did that yet. Well, it started at the top, so I'm going to trust that he's not modified it.
Maybe that first one was a red herring. Maybe I am an elite hacker.
No, our mission is, I mean, we don't really need to fix anything that Matt's done. Like, we can bypass the scheduler, which I'm tempted for us to do just to see if it works, and then we can always try and work out what the issue is. So it's your call, Borko.
I'm just trying to think. It seems like something's happening with the resources. I'm trying to think what are the ways you can manipulate resources, either available to Kubernetes from a node or but like we checked limit.
Did you describe worker one? Like describe the node through the API server? I don't know if we did that.
Let's check this and let's look at some of the logs, and then if we don't find something quickly there, we'll try it, I guess, your way of just bypassing the scheduler. Okay,
yeah, look at that. We may have a disk being filled somewhere. And if I remember correctly at the start, worker one was not ready.
So, sorry, I'm like lost. What did you, where are you looking at here?
So we've got a warning about the disk space, although it is a couple of hours old.
Okay.
But it does seem to be okay as of 19 minutes ago when we, like, because that was a not ready node and now it is ready, which is particularly strange. But that was the worker, not the control plane. Maybe we should jump onto worker one and
right.
poke around.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I've opened a session. Feel free just to jump in. We've got 10 minutes. So I see we have, we snoop around for 5 more and then we bypass the scheduler. Just because it'll kill me if I see Matt wins.
Should have brought a wee dram to just toast my success.
So if you're on a DF, does the disk look okay? It does indeed. Do you want to add a -I just to check the inodes? Yeah, it's fine. Okay. I'm assuming you had something running on that node at some point, Matt, that was doing something nefarious with the disk, right?
Yeah, I'll give it away. I was that's why I think access to node 2 is lost. So I tried to break both nodes. I logged out of 2 and couldn't get back in and realized I'd broken it a bit too hard. I still had a shell on node 1, so I undid the thing that was causing the dispatcher.
Okay.
Yeah, so that actually is a red herring, and I actually can't explain why the thing's still having issues. Well, I mean, I did another couple of things on the nodes, but it's not that.
Okay.
So I'm confused. Are you saying that you're expecting this replica set issues that we're having? That's a different problem?
I can't remember exactly what would it
It's
add up
basically
to. Yeah, I think you are expecting. Yeah, I
okay.
think you are expecting what you're seeing. Yeah.
All right. Well, we bypass the scheduler and then work it out. Or you really want to work it out? I can tell. Okay.
No, I think can you take it over? I'm kind of like stuck, so I'll
Yeah.
let
So let's
you
edit the cluster deployment, right?
make it.
And we'll jump down to the pod spec.
Straight out of the CKA manual scheduling.
And we're just going to do mode name 12165 because it's
So you want to schedule it to a specific, like, different node?
yeah. I'm just going to hard code it so we don't need the scheduler. Like I'm assuming
It
that's
was
why it's
in worker
pending.
one though,
Sorry.
but wasn't it already in worker one?
No, it's not scheduled to a node yet. The new one isn't.
Okay. I think
Now see, now it's container
thinking about
creating.
this completely wrong.
So there was something, the scheduler wasn't assigning a node to it, and I don't know why, but like we can just bypass it and see if we get it working, and then like now
Yeah,
we,
no, yes. Now for some reason I was thinking it wasn't like there was something wrong with that node, but I missed it wasn't even being assigned.
yeah, of course, I mean I have no idea why the scheduler wasn't doing that, but it was for the old replica set. It's really like, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened. So shall we test our clustered application?
Yeah.
Didn't get it too. Aye.
All right, so we cannot speak to Postgres, so we're not done yet, and we have 7 minutes to go.
Okay.
I wonder which one of my hacks did that. Because this was all done in, I'm not going to lie, quite a compressed time frame. I threw a couple of things at the wall. I'm glad one of them worked.
Sorry, the connection string is hard coded here.
Yeah, it just
correct?
tries to speak to the service Postgres. So you'll want to make sure that we have that service, it has endpoints, etc. Just basics. And let's see,
So we have Postgres.
we do have an
service,
endpoint. Yeah.
and then so that's that looks okay, right?
Yep.
You've just been paged. It's 3 a.m. We're losing $1 million a minute. Go, go, go.
Okay, so
so the error message is it can't resolve the host name.
okay,
So it may be DNS. In fact, this chat, everybody's saying DNS. Russell, it's always DNS. Naveen, it's almost DNS. Kevin, even if it isn't DNS, it's always DNS. Why is it always DNS though?
Because it sucks and you should all use Istio.
Boom. I've tried. I can't get it installed.
Yeah, had to get it in there. Yeah, you probably don't have enough RAM.
Is core DNS running?
Now, if you'd given me a cluster with
it
Istio,
was.
and we could have broken some things. I'm fairly proud of this one.
That's correct, right?
Yes. So we see ready. We see Kubernetes with cluster.local. I believe that looks all right. Yeah, good call. So we do have 2 core DNS pods running.
Suggestions? I don't know, could be something on the node.
So my suggestion would be let's get inside Klustered, get some debugging tools, and see what the hell we can work out. Bash. Yeah. And now I have to, every week, I need to try and remember the name of the package. I think it's DNS utils, no space.
Oh, for dig, yeah, I always forget.
Yeah, I want to dig.
Yeah, it's different on every distro. I always forget. There's commandnotfound.com, which is really useful. You just put in the name of the CLI tool you want, and for every distro, it gives you the package name, and like for BSD and Darwin as well. It's super useful.
Okay, so what Dig is telling us here? Oh, we're not using cluster DNS. This is the Equinix Metal DNS resolver. What's the IP address? We have it up here, right? I'm gonna SVC 1096.0.10. Yeah, I can remember it. So we can try and force it. Okay, so it did answer us. And that does work, but I don't think our resolve.conf is using it. So he's...
I'm super impressed you found that. Buried in the fourth line from the bottom.
So
very, very good.
It's the kubelet configuration, right? You want me to keep driving this, Borko? Do you want to?
No, I'm a little not following actually what happened here.
Yeah, so I'm going to go onto the control, the worker node, right? And we're going to do a cat of kubelet, and there's a bunch of configuration files we can use. And one of the things you can do with the kubelet is change the DNS configuration. If I can remember how. Here. Don't know if that's right or not. And cluster DNS is here. So what I thought he changed, he hadn't changed, but I feel like I'm close.
Ever since David's,
I guess, I mean, we can check varlib kubelet config, maybe there.
I mean, he could have just done it really shit way. Excuse my language. Yeah, there we go. This DNS policy of default, I don't know if that's correct, but I feel like it should be cluster first.
This is...
Have I made that up?
30 seconds. Oh,
we have to restart it, don't we?
Super impressed.
The configuration won't have taken effect.
Super impressed.
Yeah, the pod had rescheduled. The old one was still terminating, but it was enough for the service to run. So you changed the cluster policy from cluster first to default, right?
Yeah, because the default, because this bit me once and I lost like a day to it, the default is not default. I thought that would pass the eyeball test. I thought you'd read that and think the default was what it was meant to be set to, because you think default would be the default, but it's not, it's cluster first. Yeah, super impressive. One of the reasons they weren't scheduling is because the scheduler is called default-scheduler, and I overrode the scheduler to default. So it would have been trying to be using a non-existent scheduler. That's not the only reason either, but...
There we go.
Okay. Did you do anything with the resources, or I was like completely off there then?
Yeah, that was maybe a bit of a red herring. So I tried to fill the disk on both workers to get that disk pressure. This cluster doesn't have auto taint turned on, so I thought it would fill the disk, it would get the disk pressure condition, which it did, and then taint the nodes and evict everything. That didn't work because kubeadmin must not do that by default. But I did it by dumping a load of stuff into a file. And if you, on the worker nodes, if you run tmux attach, you'll find that hidden in the background, there's just like a Python interpreter holding the file open. So I made a massive file, opened it, and then deleted the file. So if you use du, you will not find the file that's filling the disk. The problem was because I filled it right up to the brim, you couldn't fork a new shell. So I broke SSH access. Like I said, I managed to undo it. I thought that was unfair. So I managed to undo it on one of them, but not the other because I'd already logged out.
Okay. Wow. This is great.
Yeah.
There's also an anti-affinity between the clustered pods, which I think is another reason it wasn't scheduling based on like a global one. So based on it, you can use any label as the topology key, and you're meant to use regional zone. I just used OS. So because they're all Linux, right, it tries to bring the new one up before it turns the old one off, and it can't do it because there's no applicable nodes to post it on because they're all running the same OS.
All right. Well played, Matt. But we did get it fixed. Solid team effort from Borko and I. So we're going to swap places now. So I have, let me jump back over to our screen share. I have Borko's cluster here. Matt, please join the session that I'm about to open. There we go. Just echo hello, let me know that you're there. Borko, feel free to sit back and relax and enjoy.
Follow some links. It's fun. My invite code's expired, David, if I could get another one.
You're supposed to register before the episode, Matt. Come on.
Wait, this is valid for 4 hours. I only got the link 2 hours ago.
Oh yeah, it should be good then.
Yeah.
The email I... Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Oh, did I have to register for Barcode's cluster as well? Okay, I thought I'd registered once and I could just connect, so I didn't know anything.
Well, I guess this is a nice opportunity to show everyone how easy it is to add new users to Teleport, right? So, users add, roles admin, logins root, MT. Let's hope you get to this before anyone in the audience does. Otherwise, they're pairing with me and you get to go home.
No.
I've stuck the link in our private chat just to pop that open. And I'll just clear that. There we go.
The chat on...
And Ecamm, yeah.
Oh, there's the button, yeah.
I should have started the timer when you told me the link was broken, shouldn't I have?
Yeah, you probably should. Let me just Google.
Let's see what we've got in the chat. Russell with Mission Impossible level timing. Nice work. Yeah, we did cut that far too close. Naveen saying the same.
Super impressed.
Kevin, have a celebratory beer. I wish. I don't actually have any. I will not make that mistake again.
No, I should have brought one. Would have taken the edge off.
Clustered Guru Rawkode. Not quite. Consider myself lucky. All right. Managed to register yet?
Yeah, I thought I was in.
Did you join my active session, or did you open your own?
Correct. I'm not going to be very good at this, am I?
Yeah, you'll be fine. Let's just get in the same session. Check out activity, then active sessions.
There we are. Cool.
In fact, I can show the audience that. So you join sessions on Teleport by clicking activity, active. And now I can see that Matt opened one. So, yeah.
Yes.
Feel free to join mine. Hi,
Any
David.
better?
Awesome. All right. So you're going to have to export a kube config, check for a control plane, and I am going to start our timer.
Okay.
Use whatever command you wish. I do appreciate the K alias though. Dun dun dun.
Okay. Interesting. We're root. It's allegedly readable by its owner, and there's no dot saying there's an SE Linux context or any extended attributes on it. Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
I mean, I would try lsatter just in case, but
I thought you would get a little thing on. Yeah, but okay, it's a fair point. I haven't used.
Well, yeah, I'm going to look it up. I don't remember what the E is.
Yeah, do you mind? I haven't used this subsystem for a while.
Oh.
But
yeah,
we can count it in QCTO. Can't. Interesting. Can we install packages onto this thing?
Oh, tell me what the letters mean. You can always rely on the Arch Linux wiki. That's exactly what we need.
Best thing.
E is extend a format. So I think that's actually safe. So I don't think we need to worry about that. Are you running strace?
Yeah, well, I want to see what it's doing. He's obviously doing some low-level Linux nonsense. So,
resource temporarily unavailable.
Yeah, what is...
You want to check the mount points?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
He could have given us like a weird mount.
Read-only file system over the top.
Yeah.
That's odd. Can we see the call to read the environment? Not. I can't see the access to the environment variable or any stat or any open call on the file. It doesn't.
So let's do the basics first before we go into the deep dive stuff. Like, is our kubectl really kubectl?
Yeah, I think it's forking. I think it's forking.
Elf binary.
It's a Go, but elf binary.
It does look all right. Okay.
It was put there at a plausible time. It's a plausible size.
Yep.
What have we? How could he have broken it using this? Like put a read-only file system over the top?
Well, that was one of my thoughts too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mounted. Remount RO.
But that's errors, right? So that's if there's a file system error, it shouldn't.
All right.
It shouldn't freeze it. It should remount it read-only. So I think that's okay.
I can see Borko laughing at us already.
I'm just laughing at the comments.
This is some full Google interview stuff. All
right, I've got confidence in this. So
it's not a symlink. It's only got one hard link.
Let's try and change the permissions on it to 744 and see if it complains to us, right?
But the thing is, we can cat it. So something's stopping. kubectl has like an SE Linux. I mean, if there's BPF, I'm going to be angry. Like it's like kubectl's got an SE Linux context or something. I don't know too much about
I think
this.
you're on the right track. It's nothing with the files. It's something with the kubectl command. Correct.
Okay.
Are you using eBPF?
I am not. I don't think.
Okay.
I do not do anything with eBPF now.
You're looking for LD preload. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously need a beer.
Okay, so if it's something to do with a kube control command, we already validated this, right? Let's check. Let's check if it's an alias. Run type alias. Just our alias. Okay, so could be a function.
I don't know because they would show up when we did this, right? And I did that to find the file. The file's okay.
I'm going to check anyway. I mean, there's many places it could be, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, we could always just do.
That's true. Okay, so it's something getting in the way of kubectl, which looks okay. Not LD preloaded. I'm thinking it's going to be like systrace, like one of the security mechanisms. It's going to be gvisor or something, something that blocks syscalls. Although I never saw, when I straced it, I never saw the access to admin.conf. So I wonder what, I mean, does it fork naturally? How do you make this thing follow forks? F. There we go. Okay, it forked. I assume that's natural. E-access permission denied. Well,
So
there you
let's
go.
assume Borko's done something to, maybe Borko's just opening a file at that path. So why don't we copy it to somewhere else and see if it works?
That's a good point. Yeah. There's a new one there, but I can't see. There's several PIDs, but I can't see the fork. Oh, because of course it's called clone these days. I just wonder what on earth is. So where's it execing?
Because something we've seen on a previous episode from Noel was the BPF bypass that would restrict access to opening certain files on the disk. So I would suggest we just try and copy it somewhere else. And if that doesn't work, we need to start exploring the processes on this machine for something malicious.
Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do that so it gets a new inode number as well.
Foo.conf. That was the best name you came up with.
What do you want to call it?
Right, but remember, it's not with that file. Now, I'm curious if we copied kubectl to a different location, if that would work.
Okay, so we can't read anything. That's interesting. Yeah, right. So yeah, kubectl. I wonder whether there's an SE Linux policy that's matching the loaded file.
So Kevin said in the chat that you can't get SE Linux on Ubuntu, but someone told me last week you can now get SE Linux on Ubuntu, and that put the fear into me. So. Lol.
Yeah.
Oh, that works. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a good suggestion on my part. AppArmor. There is an AppArmor profile for kubectl that doesn't allow you. There's nothing in it really. It wasn't generated, so it's just preventing you from running the command.
Ah, sneaky.
Nice.
Okay, that's AppArmor made the ban list. All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
AppArmor and SE Linux are those things that I really should learn better, and I've never invested any time whatsoever.
No, nor me. I mean, when I say SE Linux and people said it literally doesn't exist anymore, that shows how much I know. But, you know, one of those Linux security modules. Oh, look. Okay, then. Back to where we were. It seems to be kind of running, but my cluster was older than that. So he's been in here since you did something. This all looks good. Oh, I don't have any of my aliases. This all looks suspiciously quiet, except the network's up and down all over the place. And wow, so it's all of the control plane. Okay, so we don't have an API. Okay, the API stuff is flapping because obviously it's been up at some point because we can do this.
Yeah, lots of restart.
Should we just try it and see what happens?
Yeah. So what's the fix for the AppArmor thing then, Borko? How would we fix it?
So you can just basically, there's a command a logprof, genprof or something like that, or logprof, that will generate the profile, AppArmor profile for kubectl based on like the last time it was executed, like all the syscalls it needs, and it will allow you to do it. Or you can just disable the profile itself, and then it should work.
Nice.
Boot into safe mode.
We haven't seen AppArmor before. Let's say clustered first.
Yeah, I've tried to kind of, because I've seen a few episodes, I've tried to put in things that I haven't seen before, just to help people, I guess, audience, like get exposure to some things. I don't know. Because I found this like really useful to learn from, like really enlightening to see how people think and different things they can think of breaking. So I try to put things that I haven't seen before.
All right, awesome. Matt, we've got Angry Man, and our authentication for Postgres failed.
Yeah, but you'll notice it's V1 Angry Man.
There only has one Angry Man. So this is the V2 image, but we're getting an error connecting to the database.
Oh, is it? I'm sure it's a V1. The
No.
title of that webpage is V1
Oh
Clustered.
yeah, I think that's cached.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
There is a caching problem, and sometimes I have to reload it 54 times before I get the new video. So I don't tend to open V1 anymore.
No, fair enough. Okay, so we've upgraded, and it can't auth to Postgres. That's interesting, isn't it? And the whole control plane's flapping. That's all very odd. Okay, how do you write this app? How does the auth work? Does it get its password from a config map?
No, it's hard coded.
Okay.
Postgres and Postgres 1.2.3, if I remember correctly. But you should be able to take a look at the stateful set, and it's just environment variables passed into the Postgres image.
Well, now
We've lost our API server. There we go. So we need to fix that flapping.
Yeah. Degraded.
It's static manifest, so you won't find out about it.
You'll still see it as a child of containerd.service, right? Except it's not there at the moment. But okay, yeah. Let's do a quick visual inspection of the.
Why do people never look at where the cursor is when they open the file?
Oh no, I forgot. Just spot where it was.
I see some sneaky stuff.
Okay. And there's all kinds of things you could subtly break in here.
Yeah, looks like Borko has added an encryption provider to our API server.
So
you might want to take a look in temp EC.
Yeah, embarrassing question. What does that even do? That's the encryption at rest in etcd, right? The row encryption.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Now, what we have to be careful with here is if we remove this, we can't read anything in etcd anymore. Or he could have added it and not actually enabled encryption on etcd, in which case this is the reason it's flapping. So what we're going to have to do is check the API server logs, I think, and see if we can get some information before we go all Hulk smash on this.
What if we Hulk smash it and we just lose all of etcd? We can just put it back, right? Because we don't need API server access to do it.
Yeah, just don't delete the ec.yaml.
Oh, no.
Clustered 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice. I wondered if there's going to be something spicy in there.
I tried to put it. The thing is, you have to limit exactly like 16 or a certain number of characters, so you don't have much room for creativity.
Oh, okay. I was going to get the logs through kubectl through container.
You'll need to go to var log.
So I'll tell you, the restarting is not caused by the encryption.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
Containers.
Yeah, that's where it is.
And kube-api. So what do we got?
No match. Failed to list config maps. Unable to transfer. This looks like some etcd. Registry config maps default. No matching prefix found. This does look like it's looking for a hard-coded config map in etcd, and the etcd tree has been mutilated.
Go back up. Is there any precursors?
That's just a reboot, isn't it? Shutting down, stopped, shutting down.
Okay, we want to check. I mean, etcd is running because that's why we'd see an error that it couldn't actually.
etcd is actually not flapping, is it?
Oh, I don't know. You only think it's PS.
API servers going back. Yeah, Yeah, it won't tell us if it's restarted, I guess.
We should be able to see the time the process started. 72 minutes ago, right?
Okay, yeah, right. So etcd is okay. Does look like it's been. Okay, so it looks like an important config map is gone. We can't use the API server to inspect it. We could use etcd-ctl.
Well, we do get an API server for a while, so we could always wait for it to restart and then we're on a clock, but maybe there's a nicer way to do it.
Oh, it's back.
Yeah. Get config maps all.
Right. Weird it does that for config maps and not pods. Why is it trying to get at the CA for one and not the other? I don't understand that.
A little confused that kget c config maps all didn't now work. I would have expected that to work.
Okay, yeah.
I love it
I
when
had
a
a couple
break goes sideways.
And we have to ask, don't we?
So, wait, what was the error when you ran that? Config
Something
map?
about. I'll show you. Something about. I love how you're joining in to fix this as well. Okay, none of those.
Try to get CM again. Unable to transform key registry.
Okay, so yeah, that does make sense, I think, actually. Why?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a few, especially config maps, right? Out of the box, there's a few of them that are like completely intrinsic. And I think, you know, because there's always a service called Kubernetes and there's always a config map, I think, with the cluster CA in, and there's always just something else. And it looks like he's maybe managed to delete it. And like the error handling, it's just always expected to be there. So the error handling it just doesn't really wrap it nicely. And it's saying, well, I'm trying to get this because this is the raw key in etcd, right? It keeps everything under /registry in etcd for some reason. So this is the raw etcd path, and it's just saying it can't find this or can't find some prefix of it.
Yeah, so I always use this to configure etcd-ctl. So let's copy this.
Yes, cool. I can never remember how to do that.
Get, what was it, registry?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be seeing something or not. I'm not an etcd.
Yeah,
I think we have to go registry / the namespace / config maps, or config map / namespace, one or the other, I forgot.
It's config map / namespace by the looks of that error.
There's a flag, something like list resources or something like that, to show you the tree, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's some kind of like list command, isn't there? This was my least favorite part of the CKA. Yeah, this is a bit intractable, this etcd.
Yeah, I don't remember etcd.
No, we might have to go. Do you want me to Google some stuff?
Well, we ran get registry services and that worked, right? We actually got this value back.
I have an etcd cheat sheet.
Right, so,
okay, so this one does work, right? So why can't we do config maps?
Where did specs come from?
It was just part of that thing. I don't know how to show the tree, so let's try that. etcd-ctl print tree.
So, should I start copying and pasting from this cheat sheet?
Oh yeah, go for it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's.
Yeah, there we go. Right. So
there we go.
What's under config map? / registry / config maps. Right, so we do have default kube CA.
Yeah.
So what's the error message again? I'm going to copy this, but
it's basically saying that doesn't exist.
is that the same?
Did you copy a registry? Nice. He wouldn't do that to us, would he? Is it a UTF-8 hack?
They're not allowed.
No.
Yeah, that actually looks all right. Okay, so that's interesting.
Enable a transform key. I assume we're reading this right. I mean, to me, that just says it doesn't exist in the database, but maybe there's more nuance to that.
Well, you can use etcd CTL to check what the value is in there, right?
Okay, yeah, I was assuming that meant the key didn't exist. Well, yeah, we could try to get its value, I guess. No, you tried that though, didn't you, David?
Yeah, but we weren't doing it right. So, I mean, I wasn't doing it right.
Looks like it's there to me. I mean, it might be garbage, but I'm not reading the error message. The error message to me says, yeah, no prefix found, means that path in etcd doesn't exist. But
yeah, it's going to be something subtle, isn't it? So the path exists. Yeah, that error message is really shit. I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, do it, because etcd is honestly my least favorite part of this system.
You try something else. Can you get config maps from a different namespace? Like a specific namespace?
Just keeps
No, I mean kubectl.
Dash keys only.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we can. It's just the default namespace.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I had fun, but I'll see you later. I'm going
home. Wow. Okay. What sits between the API server and etcd? Like nothing that I'm aware of. And this isn't like if RBAC wasn't allowing us, then it would be a much more, friendly Kubernetes level error, right? The fact this is saying internal error, the fact this is making it into the API server's logs means this isn't, this is an exception. This isn't like an RBAC or anything.
I'm going to take a look at this.
Which namespace is that meant to be in?
Well, this is the kube system one, right? But what I'm worried
is it meant to be in both?
I think it's in every namespace.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, right. So that you can always get it no matter what your RBAC is. Okay.
Are those the same?
Yes. Maybe you should.
I mean, I did a very simple test of the first 5 and last 5 characters, but I'm going to assume that they are.
Oh, as hash algorithms go, that's like NSA proof.
So.
Yeah, and there's a few because they're serialized protos, right? So you can see the text.
I think Borko's winning a gift card at this rate.
Yeah, this is subtle, whatever it is. Cannot transform. Did you find anything on the error message? Because what's the transform part about?
It is encryption related. You told us it wasn't, Borko.
Yeah.
The restarts aren't encryption related, no.
Right, okay.
But the restarts are due to this.
There's definitely issues with encryption, yeah.
The thing spams this into its logs and then quit. Like the restarts are due to this, surely. Okay.
So I'm assuming you've enabled encryption, but you've not on this key, or you've put the old version of this key back into etcd. I'm going to assume
he's encrypted one namespace, right? He's encrypted one or the other because it works for one and it doesn't work.
It's going to run my turn. Oh no, wait, it's done the scrolly bug, hasn't it?
how on earth are we going to undo that in 15 minutes?
Well, I'm assuming he's maybe been nice to us and left us.
Yeah, I guess a script or a. I wonder what he's done to Cilium with Cilium's deployment being left in temp.
Um,
I wonder if we can just do a get from the kube system namespace, right? And store it into the
that would be
default
very
namespace.
interesting.
Yeah, that's encrypted. The other one is plain text. So we're going to have to, in fact, let's take a look at the default one more time, right? So I don't think there's anything namespacey in it, right? It's just a certificate. It's just the metadata. So we can just write the kube system one to the default key. So
yeah, right. Yeah, okay. So encryption's on, so it's trying to decipher everything, and the one in default is not enciphered, so it's deciphering to garbage, or it's not checksumming or something. Okay,
so
is this the only?
This is our encrypted secret.
But has he only encrypted the one? Everything else works. Though, no, you're right. Encryption's on, and we can read the pods and we can read the deployments and stuff, right? So yeah, okay. I think everything but one thing is encrypted.
So let's put.
And that's a smart way to do it, right? Because we get the error on the one that's unencrypted, and we inspect it with etcd-ctl, and it looks okay. That's a very smart way to send us down the wrong path.
So how do we do? Oh, we
This
can't.
is an interesting workaround. I mean, the solution is actually much easier than this, but like, but now I'm curious if this will work.
Let me get my cheat sheet up.
So let's try read the default one again.
Yeah, there should just be a put. You should be able to put.
I've put it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is great. Awesome.
Yeah, the scroll bug. Oh, we've currently got it. Okay, so we still need to fix the flapping, but I think we might be able to get all the config maps when that API server comes back. So let's deal with this flapping, because that's getting mighty fucking annoying.
Yeah, okay. So that encryption error was filling up the logs. So yeah, let's try to find the flapping. grep-v is your friend, I think.
Okay. We'll just need to wait for that to compile. Maybe that is why it's flapping. Because there'll be watchers on that config map, and it's just shutting down the API server.
There will, but he said it wasn't, which means he's done something else to the API server.
All right, okay. I missed that. Okay, so grep-v list and watch. Oh, we might be getting a new log.
Maybe.
Not yet.
It takes a while.
It's a pretty useful comment also. You can take a look at in the chat.
The one from Bala?
Yeah.
So Bala says, please check the identity tag in the encryption config.
Okay.
In this?
Identity?
Or this?
So maybe Google like identity and that CD encryption config or something.
So you're telling me we've not fixed it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you did fix it for that one config map.
Right.
So I thought you were just being cruel and you only did it to one thing.
Right? This will be. You're right. This will be the key ID. You're actually making it pick up the key or something.
Where's our API server? Come on.
Yeah, does it do crash loop back off on static pods? Because this is taking a long time.
No. Kubelet can just be a bit temperamental at times. It can take up to like 4 minutes. You could always restart the kubelet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna work. There we go. So, KCM. No. All right, we're gonna have to fix this properly then. Our hack didn't work.
Okay, so yeah, let's Google.
Surprised that didn't fix it. Interesting.
I mean, it's encrypted.
So it is encrypted.
Okay, so we need to do
What
it.
if can you recreate that secret by like using through kubectl?
Yes. So what your suggestion is we could do
Yeah, let's try and do that first.
kube system, kube. Ah. System kube root crt yaml and we can change this. Yeah, so I never changed the metadata, which is probably break it. And apply.
What?
All right, we need to learn how this encryption
Oh,
stuff works.
apply. Yeah, just do a delete. Just do a delete and a create, because apply is trying to read it to do a three-way merge, and it can't read it. So smash it, Hulk smash it.
It didn't work, unless I guess we do an etcd delete.
Well, you were trying to delete the file you were trying to apply, right? So that will not work, right?
Hey.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
There we go.
Oh, no, the post. Okay, so we need to encrypt everything, or do this identity hack to make it not really care.
Yeah, let's Google that identity thing that we were told about.
All right, so we can set encryption field type to identity.
Oh, that kind of identity. Okay.
Do you know what that means? You want to go for it?
Oh, just as in it means like the identity function, right? As in it means just pass through and don't like encryption type identity just means don't do anything, I guess. But that doesn't make sense because a lot of what's in etcd is enciphered.
Right, except some of it wasn't.
Except some.
Like
But if
the
we
default namespace config maps weren't encrypted, right?
okay, so you're saying we can get default working again if we do this. We might break some other stuff.
Right. So like if you Google like etcd encryption config or something.
Oh, we can do it per namespace. Okay. I love if you Google for etcd, the first hit is Kubernetes, even if you don't specify it.
Okay.
So there is an identity right there. Do I have that there?
No.
Right. So basically I encrypted all namespaces except default. So it wasn't, but because there was no identity there, it wasn't able to read those because they were not encrypted.
Oh, right. We needed a configuration, an existent.
The reason I did that is because if you decide to just turn off encryption, that would break the rest of the cluster, because then it would be able to read that namespace, but then all of the control plane config maps will not work because they are now encrypted and would break the entire cluster.
Okay. We found that half was encrypted, half wasn't. That's clever.
So there's a much easier way than me trying to retrofit the encryption then. Like so.
Yeah, which is clever because you basically just so one thing is if you recreated the secret or the config map or whatever resource, then it will encrypt it using the EC config and replace it. So that's why when you use for kube root from the other namespace, it worked. Or you can just add that one line identity in the config, and then now it's able to read unencrypted stuff by default.
Got it. Nice. I had no idea that was a thing. So that's.
It refuses to do no encryption. That's great, isn't it? It refuses to.
Well, I think it's optional, right? So stuff can be encrypted or unencrypted.
Maybe the
correct.
That
yeah. So if you have identity in there, then it's both.
Okay. Yeah. So we have 4 minutes, and we still need to fix this Postgres. So.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cheat a little bit. He was definitely messing with Cilium because there's some Cilium config in temp. So.
Oh, that's me. That's part of the cluster bootstrap process, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not mess with Cilium.
Because all of that Cilium stuff flapped. Like the fact that the password is wrong.
Okay, so the password is correct here. I think Postgres 123 is correct. I believe the user is Postgres, and the database is clustered. And in fact, our health checks use the user Postgres. So,
And it's hard coded into the Rust app, is it? It's not read from the environment or anything. You could fiddle with.
I should know, but I will admit that I wrote this a while back, and I've abandoned it ever since. So let's check.
Because my immediate thought again was eBPF, right? I mean, what could make the password be wrong? Like an eBPF filter that's changing it on the network.
No, the hardest thing was etcd encryption. Everything else should be relatively easier to fix.
Okay. I'm sure it's stirring some effects,
and figure out.
I mean, it's weird because this is hard coded. Assuming it's our image, which it appears to be. Password authentication failed for user Postgres, which means probably modified the stateful set. What's the generation on this? Generation 9, yeah. I would have applied this once. So
yeah.
I hate computers.
Yeah. Well, I hate people too, so it's tricky, isn't it?
I mean, that looks okay. PostgreSQL 123.
It's not anything silly, like it's not Postgres pass WD or anything silly, is it?
I don't think so. I mean, so this is a relatively stateless thing, right? So he could have modified it in the pod. I'm just going to delete it and have the database recreate.
Yeah, I might be on out-of-date docs, but it looks like the environment variable is called PG password, all one word.
You sure?
That's what I found some docs that said that for the latest version. But have you recreated it? Have you got the original YAML sitting around? Can you just recreate it?
It didn't work. Oh yeah, I do have the original YAML.
Because a lot of what I did was with kubectl edit. If you just thrown the original YAML over the top of all the like, you'd have fixed like 6 of my hacks all at once.
Oh, don't do that. Can we take a look at the YAML again in the cluster?
Oh, it is Postgres password. Okay. That's what those docs are on about.
Okay, let's work this out.
Okay, stable set, no choice default.
Keep scrolling down.
Oh, you son of a...
Oh, what? Oh, man.
In
the startup.
That's great.
Nice. Very nice.
You made me laugh out loud.
Like it.
Oh, our API server flapped.
Oh, yeah, we still haven't got to the bottom of that.
So what causes pods to restart?
Health checks?
Interesting, yeah. So like Kube API server and Kube scheduler and those, they have health checks, right?
Right. I mean, lots of things, right? I mean, you could have been making the node unready. You could have caused the thing to exit one because it doesn't like its config file. But yeah, health checks. Also,
so is it possible that the health check is not healthy for some reason?
it's doing HTTPS. Is this? I could have believed it was because it needed the CA bundle to be able to verify the service certificate of the API server, but that's back now.
Yeah, I don't think live C is the real endpoint, is it? Is that what you changed?
I actually think it.
No?
I think it is. Yeah.
I don't look enough at
Every time I see it, I'm like, that can't be right.
I mean, like, yeah, it's probably going to be like hard. There's just a small little change. I mean, go up. So there
Oh, you
is,
changed.
where is it?
Anonymous
Anonymous,
access false.
right.
No. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, so it's making the health check fail.
That's nice actually, because that's honestly like an error a user could make. Because if you're installing your own cluster, you see something like that, and of course you turn it off. Like it's actually a very
Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't.
plausible
Right.
thing to get wrong.
Awesome. I think that should be it.
Should that be all of it?
Well,
We're
we
about
never
30
actually got
seconds
to
in.
edit our Postgres
Oh, you gotta. Oh, okay, and you gotta
because it
restart
failed.
probably.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't think you took enough.
the API server died before I could save the alter.
I don't think you're taking enough lines out of that. Have a look at the indentation again.
I'll just try again. Oh yeah, you're
So
right.
my whole idea was that you would fix this first, and then try to recreate the pod. But because this pod uses config map in this namespace, it would
Right.
fail, and then you'll have to go figure out what's going on with the etcd.
That was a hard one, I've got to say.
We still haven't fixed it.
Oh, Postgres.
That should be it.
Why did it not when I changed the spec?
Oh, you need to. Yeah, you need to kill it, right? Yeah.
No, I shouldn't have. Not when I changed the stateful set.
Oh, yeah, you edited the stateful set. You should have rolled it.
Well, unless someone changed the semantics.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
We're 2 minutes late, but we did get it done.
You were not bad.
All right, those were 2 really tough clusters, I got to say. etcd is always, in fact, the AppHammer, etcd, never things I like to see. So that was a tough one, Borko.
Yeah, that was very good. I thought I'd squeeze etcd. That's why I squeezed its CPU, right? Because I'm like, etcd is just, when it goes wrong, you never know how to fix it. So I thought if I can just make it sort of misbehave, sort of be really slow and annoying, everybody's just gonna be like, etcd, I don't understand it. Because it's always the thing that gives you cold sweats when you see it.
It is, yeah. Because how often do you have to use etcd control? Like never, right? Really.
I did make a backup of it. There's a hints folder.
Was there a hints folder? Damn it.
Yeah, there was a backup of etcd completely unencrypted, and there was a backup of, there was the YAML file for the encryption configuration with the identity in there. So just in case we got lost, we could fix those.
In case some idiot starts writing random bytes to etcd, yeah, you were like, I better keep it backup.
Yeah, well, I did it for me because I was doing stupid things with etcd.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for joining us today. Those were great. Those are really good. You know what? It's the best episodes are the ones where I walk away confused but learning so much, and I got that from both of your clusters. So I really appreciate the effort you put in there and for joining me during the debugging as well. Thank you to the audience for watching us and all your comments. They're always very helpful. These are always one step ahead of us. And thank you to Teleport for sponsoring Klustered. We will be back next week with more broken clusters and more pain for me. Pop, if you're still watching, you definitely owe Borko that gift card there. He definitely destroyed that. All right. Any final words before I say goodbye to you both for today?
It was fun. Thanks a lot. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, no, same. And thanks for the breakage. I learned some stuff as well.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks a lot. Bye all.
Thank you for watching Rawkode Live.